well.
Well, Heath Ledger loved acting, but he never enjoyed the fishbowl of fame. He had a volatile relationship with the media, and the constant presence and pressure from the paparazzi in Australia drove him to the edge.
Sometimes all the things you wish for and dream for, when you actually get them, you can't handle them. And I don't think Heath Ledger could do that.
Off-screen, Heath was a man of many roles. One of them, the tortured superstar. He loved being an actor, but hated being famous. He made his feelings known to Tara Brown on 60 Minutes.
Do you live a celebrity lifestyle? Do you drive around in convertibles?
Let's wave to the paparazzi.
You love the paparazzi.
Hey guys, how you doing? Yeah. Jerks.
After Heath was accused of spitting at the paparazzi, some fired back with water pistols. It was all-out war.
It's kind of funny in one sense, but he saw that as being totally demeaning to him as an artist. And I think that was the turning point where he really didn't feel welcome or comfortable in Australia anymore.
2 years ago, he left Australia for the United States after describing the ever-present Paps as scary.
The photographers following you and all that kind of stuff, it's embarrassing more than anything, actually. It's just kind of embarrassing to be walking somewhere and have people jump out in front of you with cameras.
I guess the ultimate rudeness from a PR point of view was a television interview he was doing with a perfectly professional reporter, and he decided that he really was going to be ignoring most of the questions and he was going to peel an orange instead. And that was, I think most people at home thought, what is this? Are you trying to be a smart ass, or are you really just incredibly rude? Do you think this is super cool to do this? It didn't wash well. Oddly enough, as he has done on other occasions, when he did feel he'd screwed up, he actually would pick up the phone or send a letter and apologise to the people involved.
Heath was also a passionate protester against the war in Iraq. And once again, he found himself in hot water after this interview on A Current Affair.
I think it's pretty cowardice that John Howard's tending to be so subservient to George Bush. I think he should pull his thumb out of his ass and bring our troops back home. I think we should just live our own lives and stay out of it. I think it's ridiculous that we're going to war in the first place, let alone that John Howard's such a dick.
You can't refer to the Prime Minister in those sort of terms and not expect it to be reported and not to have people respond to that. But unfortunately, Heath never quite knew how the game worked.
I've kind of developed a more diplomatic way of viewing it all and handling it, and I'm certainly more relaxed with it all.
Well, despite all the controversies through the last couple of years, I think he'll be remembered as a young actor whose career was cut far too short. The best was yet to come from Heath Ledger, but now he is forevermore frozen in time.
Can't take my eyes off of you.
Well, the loss of Heath Ledger has friends and colleagues in Australia reeling. He's being remembered as a brilliant talent who is only just realising his potential.
We, Heath's family, confirm the very tragic, untimely and accidental passing of our dearly loved son, brother and doting father of Matilda. Heath has touched so many people on so many different levels during his short life. We would like to thank our friends and everyone around the world for their well wishes and kind thoughts at this time.
With his wife and daughter by his side, Heath Ledger's father, Kim, gave the family's reaction just hours after they'd heard the shocking news on the radio.
Police in New York are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of Australian actor Heath Ledger.
Police say they found sleeping pills at the property.
At Bronte Beach, where the actor once lived, locals were in disbelief.
Big loss.
Wow. Can't believe it. He was always down here, you know, every morning going for a walk or a swim.
He always just seemed like one of the locals.
It's very down to earth, very genuine, very just like your regular Aussie guy next door.
Rod Kerr was his neighbour.
I kept on getting all these parcels sent to my house, and I think he got sick of me taking stuff up there when he was renovating. But yeah, he invited me in and had a beer with him and had a look through his place, and yeah, he seemed like a cool guy.
It was this Aussie movie, Two Hands, that gave Heath Ledger his big movie break.
Did you see someone go through my stuff? Sorry?
It was clear from those scenes shot here at Bondi Beach and from that movie that Heath Ledger was destined for bigger and better things. And those who worked with him in the early days say his death is not just a personal loss, but a huge loss to the Australian film industry. Casting director Annie Murtagh-Monks discovered him.
He had a real charm about him, and particularly on screen when we screen tested him. And he virtually learnt on the job because he was snapped up so quickly by Hollywood.
Hollywood fame, a far cry from his days as a pupil here at Guildford Grammar in Perth. John Moody was his headmaster.
He was a good all-rounder. Of course, he had a wonderful personality, and he was very gregarious, lots and lots of friends.
Tributes from Australia's top actors are flowing in. Nicole Kidman called his death a terrible tragedy and said her heart goes out to Heath's family. Mel Gibson praised his work, saying he was just taking off and to lose his life at such a young age is a tragic loss. And Kate Blanchett had this to say: "I am shocked and very saddened by the news. I deeply respect Heath's work." The most heartfelt tribute came from those who knew him best.
He was a down-to-earth, generous, kind-hearted, life-loving, unselfish individual who was extremely inspirational to many. Please now respect our family's need to grieve and come to terms with our loss privately. Thank you.
Born in Perth in 1979, Heath started in television before becoming one of our most successful film stars. But it was by no means a meteoric rise, the intense young actor working hard to reach the top of his profession.
It's all right for you to see a different girl each week, but it's not for me, right?
I don't let it interfere with my training.
Danny, it's not the only thing in the world.
It is in this place.
At just 16, Heath left home to chase his dream, landing in Sydney and quickly securing television roles. First, there was Sweat, a short-lived program about Olympic hopefuls, and also Raw.
What's that number?
But it was emerging Aussie director Gregor Jordan who gave Heath his big break, casting him alongside Brian Brown and Rose Byrne in the contemporary crime classic Two Hands.
Did you get held up, mate?
Yeah, sorry.
It was a breakthrough film for all concerned, but especially Heath. Hollywood came calling, and the boy from Perth moved again, this time to Los Angeles. There he starred in a teen flick, the pretty forgettable 10 Things I Hate About You.
I love you, baby, and if it's quite all right, I need you, baby.
Heath went for a number of different roles, determined not to be typecast as a teen heartthrob. He played Mel Gibson's son in The Patriot.
I forbid you to go. My child! You're my child!
And scored the lead in A Knight's Tale.
I've waited my whole life for this moment.
Then he moved on again, away from glitzy mainstream roles to edgier, grittier films. He swapped leading man roles for a small part in the acclaimed Monsters Ball. He returned home to Australia to play the lead in Ned Kelly.
Take the word of a drunken lawyer and arrest an innocent woman. Is that right?
And reportedly stood up to US studio bosses who wanted him to ditch Ned's iconic beard.
My orders must be obeyed.
After Ned, there were a number of films in quick succession, but Heath took a gamble in 2005 that would change his life forever, being gay cowboy Enos Del Mar in the Oscar-winning Brokeback Mountain.
Well, I guess I'll see you around, huh?
Apart from giving him his first Oscar nomination, it was on the set that he met his partner Michelle Williams. At the 2006 Academy Awards, they were truly the golden couple.
Heath Ledger in Brokeback Mountain.
Both nominated for a movie that many felt should have won Best Film at that year's ceremony. Since then, Heath continued to vary his roles, once again returning to Australia to play opposite Geoffrey Rush and Abby Cornish in the drug pick Candy.
Yeah, okay, don't get old grandma on us.
This year we'll see more of his amazing range, talent and charisma. He's one of 7 actors playing Bob Dylan in I'm Not There. While for many, his chilling performance as the Joker in the latest Batman film The Dark Knight looks certain to be one of this year's standouts.
Why so serious?
And in a tragic irony, Heath Ledger was being tipped to play Michael Hutchence in a film on the INXS singer, another Australian star who died far too young.